Hello and welcome to this very special election roundtable. We're here to decode the exit polls and the dramatic results of the exit polls. In particular, we'll be decoding and looking very, very closely at the numbers thrown up by the ABP C voter exit poll. And to discuss this over the next 60 minutes, let me introduce two of India's finest political minds. Our audience is very familiar with Yashwant Deshmukh. We always call him our favorite political pundit, and it's great to have you with us in person instead of on the other end of an internet line. And we're delighted to have Rahul Verma with us. We've been trying to get him on our show for several days now, but somehow he's always been too busy. So no day like the weekend to actually do a deep dive into the numbers that have come up from the ABP C voter poll. And of course, the big headline, as many of you already know, is that according to the exit polls, according to the ABP C voter poll, Prime Minister Modi is poised to come back for a historic third term. But there's still a lot to talk about. And in fact, unexpectedly, some would say, others would say expectedly, the most dramatic results have in fact come from the east of India. So we're going to start our conversation by structuring it into the four parts of the country. And Yashwant, let me start with Bengal. I start with Bengal because you often said that Bengal was going to be the mother of all battles along with Maharashtra. And we'll come to Maharashtra later. Interestingly, a few days ago, the Prime Minister told ANI that he thought that the BJP's best performance was going to come in Bengal. Now, let's take a look at the numbers that have been thrown up by the ABP voter poll. It seems to reinforce the Prime Minister's confidence. So let's start with Bengal, because in some ways, if your poll and other polls are correct, then Bengal is the big story of this election.
Absolutely. Bengal is definitely the big story. And, in all our trackers, even the pre-poll when we last talked, I was already mentioning, as you said, that it's one state where we are going to see a good contest in all 42 seats. All right. And Bengal was very weird and peculiar in one way that the entry of BJP in Bengal was in the rural Bengal first, and then this election they were trying to get into the urban Bengal, Bhadralok as we call it, and whether they can do it or not, that was the. So they were very delicately poised when our last poll came in, and after that, I think there is a significant movement that has happened due to this controversy of the Bharti scam, that job scam that happened. And that was one issue, I think, which has affected Mamata Banerjee, at least in some of the urban pockets as well. So by and large, what the big change, what I am watching, that in the last 5 years particularly, we have seen that the growth of Bengal, BJP in Bengal, was at the cost of left front and the Congress, largely. This time, the 1 or 2 point gain, Rahul, which is coming, it is actually now started shifting from TMC's own account. So the negative swing of TMC has started appearing. That is a big change. If that happens, that BJP in terms of vote share pulls ahead of the TMC, in terms of seat share it pulls ahead of the TMC, then definitely Bengal is the story of this.
Before I bring Rahul in, I must ask you to comment on the Trinamool Congress's response to the exit polls. They say that the polls were all wrong on the assembly elections. Why should we believe these polls? This is their official response.
But the thing is that polls were not all wrong. In all our trackers, we continue. I don't know about others, but as far as ABP C voter is concerned and ABP India Today C voter is concerned, we always maintain Mamata is winning and winning hands down. We never said that BJP is reaching in 3 figures in Bengal. We maintain that BJP is going to come up as the largest opposition party. It will become the principal opposition party, and that is a big gain for the BJP. But that's what we said in assembly elections.
Rahul, Arun Jaitley, when he was alive, used to often tell journalists like myself that, the Bengali was always there was a strong cultural Hindu identity in large sections of Bengal. The challenge for the BJP was how to convert a cultural Hindu into political Hindu. If the ABP C voter numbers are correct, then that process is not just underway, it's been very successful.
That's true. There was also a sizable section of political Hindu in Bengal. After all, Bengal was partitioned. And, like Hindu Mahasabha has deep roots in Bengal. But during 30 years of left rule and then TMC, I think that process dissipated. I think it was expected that BJP is going to make some gains in Bengal. I think the scale of this shift is momentous. But even when TMC made inroads in Bengal, First, it came in rural Bengal, and then it came in urban Bengal. So, Bhadralok Bengal is a little bit more status quoist than the rural Bengal. And what seems to be happening is that the BJP is becoming sort of like a bottom-up party in terms of its social structures in Bengal. It first mobilized Dalits and tribals, and now it's getting much more sort of like upper caste vote. And so, what is different? I think like they had got the 40% vote share in the last election. So any further gains is going to bring them incremental seats, and this is what seems to be happening in this election.
Now, Mamata Banerjee's great hope was in fact rural Bengal, and her whole public persona. I think she knew that she would perhaps lose hold in the urban pockets. She thought the Modi factor would dominate there. What if these numbers are correct, and we'll have to wait for 4th June? Not that I'm challenging at all the integrity of the ABPC voter poll, but there's always...
Yes, there is always a scope, and plus minus 3% is the margin of error, and that's why we always give the ranges of the seats, because they tend to be overlapping in many cases.
But if the results do mirror the ABPC voter poll findings, what does it mean for the future of Mamata Banerjee? And I ask this because in many other states also, we see the opposition having done well at the state level, but either losing out on sort of the hold over national politics or unable to convince the voter that they're a national alternative.
Well, the other day I was reading a brilliant report in Indian Express where they said that anti-incumbency is a huge issue in West Bengal, and then says, but it is working against the TMC. And there is a reason to it, Barkha. There are triple layers of governance: panchayat and local level, middle level and high level. When you are at all the three levels, then you have no other scope to blame anyone else for anything that goes wrong. So that is a triple incumbency that has started building up now in West Bengal. Mamata Banerjee is a very diligent leader, very popular leader. Under no circumstances, I would say that she has become personally unpopular. She remains the most popular leader in West Bengal. Make no mistakes about it. But same cannot be said about her MLAs and the ministers and all the grassroots panchayat level entire thing. The Sandesh Khali, also the incident that happened was a very, very local abuse of power kind of thing. But she had to kind of explain, she went defensive on that. Now, the thing is, there is another aspect to the Bengal equation, that is the Congress and the left. When she decided not to have an alliance with the Congress and left, this was an intelligent decision, because whatever the residual vote of Congress and left is, it was anti-Mamata. It's not anti-BJP. She enjoyed the complete polarization of anti-BJP vote in the Vidhan Sabha elections. Funny thing is, there are significant chunks or signals where some pockets are showing even revival of left and the Congress in the state. There are at least 3 seats that I know. There are chances that it will be the left as the runner-up, not as the BJP. So BJP would be a third party. 3 seats, Congress is likely to win, in that way. So there are still these pockets. By the time assembly election comes in, how these pockets or how these equations are going to be managed along with Mamata Banerjee, that remains to be seen.
So you don't buy the argument that had the alliance of the India Alliance worked in Bengal, this result could have been different. In fact, you think that Mamata Banerjee was smart in not forging an alliance with the left and the Congress. Do you agree?
I would add another point to what Yashwant was saying. I think what has happened in last 5 to 7 years, the decline of left and Congress led to consolidation of Muslim voters towards TMC,
right,
which produced a counter consolidation of Hindu vote in favor of the BJP.
Yeah,
and that is the reason why now you are seeing celebration of many more Hindu festivals other than Durga Puja in Bengal. So I think that from cultural Hindu identity to political Hindu identity is shifting, which has now started favoring BJP.
Now, the other big story is potentially also from the east, and it's in the state of Odisha. And it's actually really dramatic. In the last few days, we've been seeing these rather sad videos of Naveen Patnaik, his health, his age, clearly taking a toll, a kind of, tremulous body, and V.K. Pandian by his side trying to contain that. It's been Very sad to watch because, again, both of these leaders, Mamata Banerjee and Naveen Patnaik, have been formidable grassroots, hunkered down, very, very strong regional leaders. But look at what ABPC voter is actually saying. You're actually talking about the BJP potentially getting between 17 to 19 seats, leading to a complete rout of Naveen Patnaik.
That's right. And this keeping in mind that the India Today C voter MOTN that we do every 6 months, there for years in and years out, when we list the most popular chief ministers within their states, Mr. Naveen Patnaik has been numero uno all along in the last at least 10 years. There's nobody, his own personal approval rating as a chief minister remains unparalleled. Even Yogi and others are nowhere near. Yogi in any case comes at number 7 and Himanta Biswa Sharma comes at 8. Only 2 CM in the top 10 as far as BJP is concerned. So Naveen Babu remains extremely popular. No.
The assembly results will also be out on the 4th of June.
So you are likely to see a split verdict. You won't be able to see what we are predicting for Lok Sabha in Odisha. You're unlikely to see it replicated in the assembly. I still believe that even though the margins will get lower, BJP will make significant gains in the assembly, but it will be Naveen Babu who might just...
The conspiracy theory by some pundits is that, we all forget that the BJD and the BJP were supposed to forge an alliance. That alliance didn't work out at the last moment. The whispers in the corridors are that could there be a tactical understanding between the BJP and the BJD? We leave you to do state politics. You leave us to do Lok Sabha politics. You don't agree?
That was part of the deal.
You believe that?
Yes.
Okay.
That would, if BJP and BJD get into an alliance,
had it worked,
then the deal would have been that BJP gets maximum share of Lok Sabha seat and BJD gets maximum share of Vidhan Sabha seat. I think some people within the BJP leadership, most likely Home Minister Amit Shah and state leadership, indicated that this is our time to go for kill. We have enough sort of traction on the ground that even if we don't win assembly polls this time, we'll be very, very close to the majority mark. And definitely we are going to improve our numbers in Lok Sabha. See what's happening in Odisha in last 2 elections is and Yashwant Bhai is right, it's not what is happening to BJD. You have to first see Congress is collapsing. Right? Congress was party number 2, BJP was party number 3 in 2014. It changes in 2019, BJP becomes party number 2, and this time Congress from 22% vote share is likely to come down to 13% or 14%. So Congress is collapsing lock, stock, barrel, which most of the votes are going to BJP. And then some additional votes from BJD has basically put BJP in this kind of position where the gap in vote share is going to be very large in Lok Sabha election. It will be lesser in Vidhan Sabha election.
But let me turn the conspiracy theory on its head. There is also a school of thought that says that the BJP always goes for the jugular. It's a ruthless election machine. In fact, its modus operandi has been to go into states and then actually diminish their ally and become the primary party. So do you really believe that there's much merit to this tactical understanding with Naveen Babu?
I think the alliance rather worked out. I believe that was
whatever has happened has happened per plan.
Yeah, I think it is by design. It's not by default because the same thought process was in Punjab for the opposition. The Aam Aadmi Party and Congress decided to contest because if they would have formed an alliance, it would have opened a gate for BJP to enter the Punjab thing because they would have become the default. Now BJP is number 3, Punjab, But it is Aam Aadmi Party versus the Congress, both of them contested. They said कि आपस में लड़ो लेकिन सीट तो अपनी आएगी ना. Why to give an opportunity? I think the same has played out in Odisha. Also because of the fact that some comments might have been paused in some rallies and political because it was a political rally. But largely speaking, Jayalalitha ji, Naveen Babu and Nitish Kumar, these are the individual players which BJP thinks we have been long kind of soft towards. Their essential vote bank is anti-Congress. And post these leaders, these are our votes as an institution to have. All right. So there is no point somebody who is so aged, old, and arguably not keeping fit medically at this point of time, and who is respected a lot by the Odia masses, we shall not say or insult that person, and just let it go, just like they let it go with senior Badal Sahab. Modi never uttered a single word against single Badal Sahab, and that's the reason why now it is between Akali versus the BJP fight. No matter how Mr. Badal tries and his wife tries, BJP is kind of surpassing Akalis in the
Punjab.
politics of Punjab.
Yeah.
So they are waiting it out. They will do their best. In fact, my conspiracy theory, or you can say whatever theory, I won't say conspiracy, but I somehow had this feeling. Even if Mr. Biju Patnaik falls short of majority, if a single largest, if he makes come, I have this gut feeling that BJP will be graceful enough to ask him to continue as chief minister. Because that's the huge political capital that the BJP is eyeing in a post Naveen Babu scenario.
Interesting.
Either they will ask him to continue, or they will ask him to go for some even grander position.
Are either Odisha or Bengal numbers surprising to either of you?
To an extent, I think the extent of numbers, I think the direction was very, very clear. But whether BJP can touch actually 30 seat mark in Bengal, the upper bound, is a bit surprising. And I would have expected like BJP to get say 15, 16 odd seats in Odisha, but now it can actually get 18 to 20 seats. So I think the degree is surprising, not the direction.
But look at your numbers on Bengal: 23 to 27 for BJP, 13 to 17 for Mamta. In Odisha, 17 to 9 for BJP. Complete rout for Naveen Patnaik. Are you surprised? You're not surprised?
Actually, not surprised. See, where we left the last poll, we had got the direction. In the last 8 weeks after that, it has only progressed in that direction. The trend line is in the same direction. So the gap where we left was roughly about, say, 2 to 3% in Odisha. It has gone down to 7-8%. And after that kind of a gap, it's a point of no return in terms of a seat sharing. So what I feel, it's for me, it's not a surprise. I was expecting the trend line to go further. But because Naveen Babu was Naveen Babu, I felt that maybe because he has already declared as a last election of sort, and his health is frailing. So I was kind of expecting maybe 15-16 pe jaake atkenge. But with that kind of thing, it was a one-way traffic.
Now, talking about the East, we must talk about Bihar. And again, in Bihar, you have always said that Tejasvi Yadav is a very serious politician. He's worked very hard, even with, again, a very poor, injured back. Done, I think, about 200 rallies. But if you look at the numbers in the ABPC voter exit poll, it hasn't yielded much. Yes, it's better than last time. It's a modest gain for the opposition.
First of all, in Bihar, Barkha, it's the arithmetic which defeats the chemistry. All right. So let's in the last 10 years, we have always, we have witnessed it more than enough. Wherever Pendulum Kumar went, the pendulum went in that way. So arithmetic champion. So the day Nitish Kumar came back, that very day, the concept of Bihar was rewritten. Number one. Number two, why I still maintain, regardless, I am saying this with, full seriousness. Even if BJP wins 40-0, Bihar, Tejasvi still would be the front runner as far as to become the next chief minister whenever the assembly election. Why I'm saying so?
Explain that. Why? Because the BJP doesn't have a strong local leadership.
Yeah, exactly. So BJP was kind of always playing the second fiddle to Nitish Kumar. Sushil Kumarji was also known as deputy of Nitish Kumar rather than an outright leader in his own. I somehow look at Tejasvi's thing. The way I look at Mr. Modi's campaign in Karnataka Assembly election, election where 100% his party was going to be defeated, yet he continued. I always say that Mr. Modi goes to all these states where the party is going to be decimated, but he continues with the full rigor because he is kind of hedging. He is showing in the seeds of guilt among the voters. मेरे कहने पे भी तुमने मुझे आदमी को वोट नहीं दिया. अच्छा, जब मेरा वोट होगा तब तो वोट दोगे ना. So Mr. Modi was not campaigning in Karnataka Assembly. He was campaigning for the Karnataka Lok Sabha. I am very clear about that. Similarly, exactly the reverse thing is happening in Bihar. I believe Mr. Tejasvi Yadav is campaigning for the assembly. I am very clear about that. I am sticking my neck out right here, right now. Watch out for him. Even if BJP wins 40-0, my bet would be on Tejasvi Yadav becoming the single largest party in Bihar.
Which the RJD was even the last time.
No, but I am talking about now he is surpassing the previous numbers, and I hope he doesn't commit the mistake of giving 70 seats to Congress again.
So one of the things in my travels to Bihar, a lot of people who were voting for the BJP, they were not interested in Nitish Kumar. They actually said things like Nitish Kumar ka ab retire karne ka time aa gaya hai. So that was one thing about Nitish Kumar possibly being a weak link in the NDA alliance. What do you think of that, Rahul? And I'll be interested to know what your data also tells you, Yashwant.
So, yes, Nitish Kumar's popularity over the years have declined for multiple reasons, especially sort of like shifting from one party to the other. But you have to also understand Nitish Kumar remains the median of Bihar politics. At this juncture, you cannot imagine a government without him because he brings that crucial sort of like OBC or MBC blocks, and wherever that, so think of it. RJD has a very solid Yadav Muslim bloc.
So they tried this time to go beyond those caste groups.
But that is
in the same way that Akhilesh Yadav tried to go beyond Muslim Yadav.
So the advantage which Tejasvi has in Bihar is also his disadvantage. Because these are two very large blocks. So whenever you will travel in Bihar or you'll see rallies, you will always see बहुत भीड़ है, बहुत हवा है, पर वो 30 से 35 नहीं पहुंचता और 37 नहीं पहुंचता।
Conversion of crowds into
और यही चीज आपको बीजेपी के साथ भी दिखेगी। उसके पास लार्ज ब्लॉक है अपर कास्ट का और साइजेबल ब्लॉक है दलित्स का, तो आपको वो भी उनके नीतीश कुमार के पास एक मिडिल वोटर है जो छोटी छोटी कम्युनिटीज हैं, बट दे डोंट स्पीक अ लॉट, but they have solidly stood behind him, right? And so even while he is declining in popularity, he is in नारा है ना नीतीश कुमार मजबूरी है, is because that he basically brings that crucial chunk to cross over the halfway.
So it's not the end of the road for Nitish Kumar? No, Pendulum Kumar as you call it.
BJP is like, again, that BJP would like to invest in Nitish Kumar to be the sole occupant of whatever legacy he leaves behind in terms of caste politics, So BJP will not do anything which would kind of put ki jate jate muh ka swad kharab kiya. It's not going to happen. Probably as and when happens, Nitish Kumar, BJP would like to give him a grand farewell, put him in a much larger, bigger context. I don't know what kind of thing that they can plan for him. But at some point of time, one has to realize that his own number going down in terms of approval ratings, that's a fact. I haven't seen anybody's popularity number sliding at that kind of significant drop the way I have seen Nitish Kumar. Probably Mr. Khattar, but even Khattar's drop was not that steep. That was a gradual.
Khattar was never that popular.
That popular as well. But as a CM, approval rating wise, one thing very interesting which I want to say, Barkha, there is another young leader in Bihar.
Chirag Paswan.
And I have this gut feeling that Chirag is going to be next Himanta Biswa Sarma of BJP.
Really?
I have this gut feeling. And I have multiple reasons for that. May or may not happen. First of all, he is young, popular, clean. I mean, no doubt about that. There was a fight of his legacy, which he has won fair and square. All right. Second, BJP actually is a huge leadership vacuum out there.
Yes.
They don't have a face. All right. They need a face. Third thing, Chirag Paswan fills up a huge void of the Dalit leadership face within the BJP. BJP, all said and done, even after getting so much Dalit traction, they really don't have a pan-India Dalit face to show, leadership face. BJP might be benefiting a lot if they put up a Dalit CM candidate and CM in fact, but the shart would be, it will not be an alliance. He will have to do a Himanta Biswa Sarma thing, lock, stock and barrel, come and become our face. That's what I feel.
So become a BJP leader instead of an LJP
leader. But they would be more than happy to project. Could be. Somehow I have this gut feeling because of the huge vacuum of leadership. BJP knows very well कि उनके पास में pan state अपील रखने वाला कोई फेस नहीं.
Now, we have to move to the southern states, but quick comments on Assam, since we're talking about Himanta Biswa Sarma and Jharkhand. And then why don't you tell us about Assam?
I think on Jharkhand, what seems to be happening that BJP might be losing a couple of seats. There seems to be a tribal consolidation happening in favor of JMM. But that doesn't tell us anything about what might happen in Jharkhand assembly election, which is scheduled.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing we're seeing in state after state, possibly split verdicts between state and national politics.
And Assam, I think the way sort of like concentration of various religious groups in various part of the state, Assam seems to be following the status quo of last election. BJP may gain a seat here or there, but that's what I think, largely the same number.
Yeah, I totally agree. Just two quick points to add to what Rahul said. In Jharkhand, after Yogi and his Himanta Biswa Sarma, I believe if BJP wins the next assembly election of Jharkhand, it would be largely because of Babulal Marandi. Babulal Marandi, in the last 15 odd years, Barkha, regardless of how individual, independent, whatever he was doing, he remained as the number one choice of chief minister in Jharkhand. He was popular. So piggy riding his popularity might negate the sentiment of Adivasi, and sentiment that got hurt because of jailing Hemant Soren. So that could be the third chief minister if he becomes the chief minister, where his popularity and prime minister popularity will be in real sense complementing to each other. But Hemant Soren has become the big pole of Jharkhand. He has established, he's one of the few leaders who has taken the DAT's legacy to the next level. So that is one comment on Jharkhand. On Assam, what I would like to explain just a little bit, Assam and Jammu Kashmir, Barkha, these two states have gone under delimitation, fresh delimitation. And in Assam, there is a very critical delimitation that has happened, in which in Dhubri seat, actually the number of votes have gone up big time after delimitation. What has happened is that the assembly segments and areas which have been now included in the Dhubri Lok Sabha area are predominating Muslim. So what has happened? Dhubri has become even more predominating Muslim.
Yes.
But by ensuring that BJP is not likely to win Dhubri ever again, Himanta Sarma has safeguarded rest of the 13 seats for the BJP.
Right.
Because by Muslim votes going into that segment, the gap between BJP and the Congress or AIUDF in that way has increased big time. But the gap between those seats where those areas have been included into Dhubri, BJP's chances have improved. So he has played smart over there in that way. And in any case, he is a popular guy. He's going to deliver to the BJP.
Okay, let's move our focus from the east to the south. This has been a very, very important set of data points, given the Prime Minister's personal investment of political capital in the southern states, in particular in Tamil Nadu. And so I actually want to start with Tamil Nadu. Now, what's very interesting is that the ABP voter poll basically says the NDA could open its account in Kerala, possibly take one seat in Tamil Nadu, but look at the vote share that your survey is actually calling for Tamil Nadu, 18.9%. Now, you would remember that when I was interviewing Annamalai, the Tamil Nadu BJP chief, I asked him, what would you define as a successful election? And he said, if I can get the BJP to 20% vote share. 18.9% is pretty darn close.
He is almost there. He is almost there, and I guess that from here onward, the further disintegration of AIADMK might start, because we know for sure Annamalai is very aggressive, very young. He is catching the imagination of the youngsters over there. And by taking a stance which is anti-DMK and anti-AIADMK both, somehow he is likely to even get some traction from the disillusioned DMK supporters at some point of time. So I see very distinctively from here onward BJP and Annamalai becoming more and more aggressive. And by the time that next assembly election happened, I think they will continue on this line and try to become the default opposition in no matter how many seats they win. as a principal challenger to the DMK by the next assembly elections.
I mean, if this holds, if the exit polls are mirrored in the actual results, and we look at the other southern states in just a moment, Rahul, but the whole north-south divide, the opposition's belief that there is a north-south divide, that whole theory is blown to smithereens. Not because the BJP is going to do dramatically well in terms of seats, but everywhere, in Telangana, the neck-and-neck battle, the gains for the BJP, the sweep with its allies in Andhra Pradesh, opening new sort of green, Kerala and Tamil Nadu are almost greenfield projects for the BJP. So, ye north-south to khatam hai phir.
Bilkul. Think of it like BJP before 2014 was a northwest party. In 2019, they breach eastern walls, get seats in across northeast. And 2024 is an election where they basically consolidate or enter in the Bay of Bengal coastline till Kerala. Now, like whether they'll be open their account in Tamil Nadu or Kerala, that's another matter in terms of seats. But basically, in both places, it's high likely that in Kerala, they were already around 15-16%. Whether they actually cross that mark and touch 25%, from there on, it would be very different politics in Kerala. Because what would happen? Left front, which is largely based of Hindu vote, and left is going to carry 10 years of anti-incumbency in 2026. And so what you would see rise of BJP further perhaps in Kerala. In Tamil Nadu, I think the reason why Annamalai would have said something like 15, 18, 20% vote is think of Bengal. In 2014, they got 16%.
Exactly how they started in Bengal,
right? Yes. 16% vote share. Then in next, But Tamil Nadu's story is a bit more complicated. You may see a fragmentation of ADMK by 2026. But had they aligned with ADMK in this election, given the kind of anti-incumbency DMK might be seeing, BJP and ADMK's story could have been very, very different in this election. Perhaps both parties, and more so ADMK, did not align because they also wanted to keep themselves alive for the 2026 assembly election. The question is, who has now appetite for the long game?
Yeah, and also the fact that Rahul, that this time, if before the next assembly, if at all BJP and ADMK come together, it will be at equal footing.
Yes.
If they are polling 20 and AIDMK polling 21, BJP is not going to play कि हम छोटे मोटे junior हैं, ऐसा नहीं है. Come at the equal footing. That's where you need to talk. And as far as Kerala is concerned, they need an Annamalai in Kerala, honestly speaking. And Kerala is going to be big for them because, as you said, after 10 years of incumbency, when the left goes down, and by the way, CPM, as he said, is the Hindu party of Kerala, then of course the BJP vote share will go. They are crossing 22% in my poll, 22-23%. That's they are breaching. They might even breach 25%. We don't know.
And interestingly, in Kerala, they are also attracting a sizable section of Christians.
So can I just come in here? If you look at the Bengal model, the BJP plan is first you become the primary opposition and you displace the other party, the primary opposition. This is the plan they followed in Bengal. This is the plan they have followed in Telangana. And this is the plan that they seem to be aiming at in Kerala and Tamil Nadu.
Yeah, and both the state places, the primary party which is getting decimated because of the BJP growth in Bengal was CPM.
Yes.
And it is likely to be the same in...
That's so interesting.
That's very interesting.
Are we looking at a possible defeat for Shashi Tharoor? I can't help but asking. You haven't done exit polls per seat.
No, we have done, but we generally don't release. But yes, that is one seat where we feel the BJP has a strong probability of winning. And two others. So actually BJP's tally can be of 3 seats in Kerala. It's a distinct possibility, but it's a 3-cornered contest. So obviously, sometimes the things go wrong.
I mean, even in the last election, if I'm not wrong, the BJP had 21% vote share in Thiruvananthapuram.
Yeah. So they were very much there, but still not there. This time there is a very distinct. They are crossing 30%. And another thing,
in Thiruvananthapuram,
but by the way, there is another thing, Rahul. Number of seats where the BJP is crossing 30% in Kerala, if I'm not wrong, in our number, it's probably 6 or 7.
6, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Number of seats where they are crossing 20% every seat. So when you are crossing a threshold of 30%, that is where you are seriously in for the
true. This is what happens the way I think the distribution works, that if you are around 16 to 20% vote share, then you have certain strong pockets, but you are not evenly distributed across the state. But once you are touching or crossing the 20% vote share, then your votes are much more evenly distributed across the state. And so from there, additional votes are going to basically very, very helpful in conversion
So
of seats.
would you say that Bengal, Odisha in the east are the big stories, and Kerala, Tamil Nadu are the big stories in the south? I know we have to come to Telangana and Andhra.
No, I get your point.
But in terms of the impact of that moment, in terms of it being a watershed moment, an inflection point in politics.
Many might say on fourth that Barkha, that seat to आई नहीं, आप कह रहे हो बड़ा important है. But the thing is that it's important from the context of what is going to happen in the next 5 and 10 years.
Yeah,
emerging.
One of the BJP leaders on our exit poll show yesterday, he said, "अब हम सच्ची में भारतीय जनता पार्टी हैं."
सही बात. Like if they open account in Tamil Nadu, which some polls are suggesting, this would be the first time in history where BJP will have a member of parliament, Lok Sabha, from every state of this country.
Really?
Yes, because Kerala, they never had an MP.
Tamil Nadu, they had earlier, Kanyakumari and Coimbatore, these two are individual pockets,
But there were states like Andhra Pradesh. So this time they will have, like if Tamil Nadu opens account and Kerala opens account, every state which sends more than 6 or 7 MPs.
That's an extraordinary detail. Let's move to Andhra and Telangana. How ironic that the Congress that burst, जिसके राज में तेलंगाना की पैदाइश हुई, Telangana was birthed, as it were, during the Congress years in the center. It just won handsomely in Telangana in the assembly elections. Yet, ABPC voter predicts a kind of dead heat seat projection, 7 to 9 for both alliances. Yeah. What do you make of Telangana? The BJP had 4 last time. It had more than the Congress last time. But then under Revanth Reddy, the Congress delivered a handsome victory, right? And now we are seeing again that pattern of a split verdict where people respond to the Congress in a different, and even other opposition parties, in a different way for state elections, a different way for national elections. Is it the Modi factor all the way?
Yeah, Modi factor is definitely there. But Telangana was one state where BJP has had a very good presence all along. Yeah. In 1998 Lok Sabha election, Barkha, people somehow forget these things. But BJP polled in United Andhra almost 20% votes on its own. 20%. And in the Telangana region, they polled more than 30%. Right. They gave it on a platter to Chandrababu Naidu in 99 because of and Chandrababu Naidu really gave them a pittance in that way because there was no significant assembly or Lok Sabha seat that were. And then they went for because they gave up the separate Telangana thing. BRS were smart. I mean, basically, KCR, he picked up that mandate and then after that.
But Yashwant, look at the decimation of the BRS. It's projected to get 0 seats.
The thing was, Barkha, the original game plan of BJP was that we will decimate Congress and make Telangana BRS versus the BJP citadel. But they went wrong in pulling down Bandi Sanjay and going soft on BRS. And the moment they went soft on BRS, the entire anti-incumbent vote by default shifted to Congress. So now the game plan is shifted. Now the game plan is BRS should be decimated and let it be a Congress versus
BJP.
Another Karnataka. And let BRS become what JDS in Karnataka, sometimes playing a fiddle role here, sometimes playing a fiddle role there. But this is where it is going. Whatever vote, anti-BRS vote, went to Congress in assembly, a big chunk of them is shifting to BJP because essentially they used to be anti-Congress votes in that way. Yeah. So it is making sense for them. And I will not be surprised, Barkha, if BJP gets more seats than Congress in Telangana.
Yeah. So although your survey projects a dead heat, the closer details of the numbers tell you an advantage for the BJP ahead of the Congress.
Exactly.
Rahul,
the possibility,
the decimation of the BRS, the 2% vote of the MIM, any thoughts on the Hyderabad seat?
Hyderabad is going to win. The margin fight over,
but it's a tough fight. I don't want to go seat by seat. I think I want to pick up him on his historical detail a little bit more. See what has happened in the previous, not this assembly election, but the previous assembly election. Congress had made a mistake. Congress had aligned with TDP to contest the Telangana election. Yes. And TDP is considered as a Andhra party, so anti-Telangana party. So Telangana sentiment voters of the Congress has actually shifted towards the BRS. right? And so BJP was able to make some inroads. I think now that in 2023, Revanta Reddy took a very clear stand that we are the party which birthed Telangana. And so they were able to basically bring those Telangana sentiment voters, some from BRS, towards their side. And now BRS is basically exploding, which is basically going to help BJP.
So one of the things I want to talk about, but it doesn't apply to Andhra Pradesh, is whether the BJP aim is increasingly to make politics bipolar between the BJP and the Congress. Because if you, it doesn't apply to Andhra Pradesh, but in Telangana, that seems to be the game plan. In Tamil Nadu, it's eventually going to be taking on the DMK and the Congress is going to marginalize the AIDMK. Well, no, the Congress is not present. The Congress is not present in any of the states.
Like BJP is not making an effort to make it bipolar. It's the nature of politics where the elections are becoming bipolar. So first, Lok Sabha elections are much more bipolar than assembly elections because others and independents get decimated. Second, I think the way campaigns are getting structured, Lok Sabha seats are bigger, so you have to mobilize lot many voters, social media and everything. Then voters are basically going to look between two choices. So what's happening in Lok Sabha election, any third player is getting squeezed in the competition, right? In a polarized election, you either choose or you oppose. You don't have many choices to express. So
but their original game plan wasn't that. I mean, they wanted Congress to get decimated. But they did a blunder because they blundered and then they changed the tactics and now
So now look at Andhra Pradesh. The alliance with Chandrababu Naidu, the alliance with, Pawan Kalyan. This is clearly, according to the ABP C voter poll, you're not just projecting a sweep for the NDA, you're projecting 4 to 5 seats, I think, for the BJP on its own. Right. So how do you look at Andhra Pradesh?
Well, they just took a piggy ride of TDP, Chandrababu Naidu. I think they just, their own surveys probably told them, or they were reading my surveys. I don't know whatever the truth is. But because a significant chunk of BJP, it was very funny. And it's funny because in one of the shows where after the MOTN thing, a BJP leader, he said to me, आप कह रहे हैं अलायंस में हम जीत रहे हैं लेकिन मेरा मानना है जगन जीतेगा and I said yeah, you were there, yeah, I'm glad that you were there, you are confirming. And then I realized they had shifted so pro Jagan in that entire last 4 or 5 years in that way that even though their decision to go with TDP was on hard fact, somehow some of them were like, caught between two partners. Exactly. Yes. But the thing is, it was good that they worked on the data. I mean, I would say, I would like to believe that they took a decision on good feedback. And many people are asking me, यार, कितना बड़ा गैप था चंद्रबाबू नायडू के हारने का? And it's not that like that. Because Jagan polled around 48%, Chandrababu polled around 40%, Pawan Kalyan polled 6%.
And BJP had 2.
So, if you add Pawan Kalyan and BJP to Chandrababu Naidu, you are looking at 50%. Right? And add to that anti-incumbency, which whatever Jagan is facing, that his sister is joined the Congress, whatever 1-2% she is kind of bring down from Jagan's
and then arrest of Chandrababu Naidu basically sealed the deal. So I think BJP played very, very smart in Andhra. They took a piggy ride and they got a good deal. I think they were big zero out there, but now they are getting 5-6.
Okay, we end our focus on the southern states. We're talking about Karnataka. And this, Rahul, the opposition really hoped that it would be able to wrest away some seats from the BJP in Karnataka. Once again, we are seeing the pattern of the split verdict. Right? Again, a very handsome victory for the Congress in the assembly elections. Not able to, according to the ABPC voter poll, convert it into something substantial. Some gains, but not really significant. How do you read Karnataka?
So first, even when BJP was defeated in assembly elections, they had 40% vote share, meaning they held on their vote share. Second, they basically made an effort to get JDS on the side. JDS could have gone to Congress's side. So basically consolidating the weakness in the South Karnataka, Mysuru region. PM Modi remains very, very popular in Karnataka. And so given those two things, I think they were poised to be able to contain. I still expected that BJP would lose many more seats. What might be happening, and I don't have any way to confirm this, the DK Shivakumar and Siddharamaiah contest in Karnataka is costing the party.
The internal sort of factionalism.
And in that process, you might see even D.K. Shivkumar's brother losing the election.
Bangalore rural.
But Barkha, I was
up against Mr. Devegowda's son-in-law in that seat.
But I was never, not even for a moment, under the this thing that Congress is gonna cross 10. I mean, never.
10 number, so I think most people assume about 8, but your poll is giving 3 to 5.
3 to 5. Reason being, the exit poll and the tracker, when we said BJP is being thrashed out in Karnataka in the assembly election, the same tracker and exit poll, we were always maintaining that in the same questionnaire, same respondent, the voting intent, if Lok Sabha election would happen, is 50% for the BJP. So where BJP people of Karnataka were thrashing out the BJP, they were at that point of saying कि Lok Sabha होगा तो हम BJP को वोट देंगे. So I was never under this impression that it is not a winner. And then they did as the JDS thing. Again, one of the things, if you see it, Mr. Modi has been extraordinarily courteous towards Mr. Devegowda. उनकी फोटोग्राफ्स आप देखिए, उनको कुर्सी निकाल के अपनी कुर्सी पे बैठालना, बड़े की तरह इज्जत देना, पैर छूना, all that entire thing. He is very clear that post Mr. Devegowda, this is a 10% Vokaliga anti-Congress vote, which is open. And if I show enough respect and courtesy to Mr. Devegowda, it should be
a sizable section.
So that's the southern Karnataka was only region where BJP was always really poor because it was a number 3 party. So now they are establishing themselves as that at the cost of JDS. Because JDS post Mr. Devegowda, I don't see much of a future, honestly speaking. It's not. उन्हीं के नाम की खा रहे हैं सब. तो वो एक उन्होंने खोल के रखा हुआ है. जैसे अभी बोला ना, नवीन बाबू के लिए इज्जत है, नीतीश बाबू के लिए इज्जत है. एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी इज्जत जयललिता जी के लिए थी. नवीन जब ये 12 में, you remember जब शपथ ग्रहण हुआ था मिस्टर मोदी का, वो जयललिता जी was on the stage. With her huge chair, जो कि गवर्नर से ज्यादा बड़ी चेयर थी. She actually flew in that chair, by the way. मैंने पूछा, I was there, I was covering that. मैंने पूछा, यार ये अजीब सा लग रहा है, गवर्नर की कुर्सी इतनी हो, जयललिता की कुर्सी उतरे से. तो बोले नहीं, वो उनकी हवाई जहाज में उनके साथ में आई है कुर्सी. And the funny thing was, मिस्टर मोदी ने अपना शपथ लिया और शपथ के बाद में ललिता उठी और चल दी, बाकी में नहीं रुकी. और पीछे से एक आदमी आया, कुर्सी उठाई, उठा करके उनकी कुर्सी में लेके.
That's hilarious. But something to think about is the future of one-person parties. अगर आप देखें Jayalalitha, post Jayalalitha, the AIADMK has not survived, right? Post Naveen Patnaik, God knows what will happen to the BJD. Post Sharad Pawar, we don't know. We'll come to Maharashtra shortly. But these parties, do they survive when their main faces disappear?
Only if the next generation is groomed enough or smart enough. Like I just mentioned Hemant Soren.
Yes.
Hemant Soren has taken the legacy forward. Stalin has, because he was groomed well. But enough time was given under Karunanidhi for him to become a leader outright. Tejasvi, for that matter, is making.
One impact of these elections on state politics. You mentioned the factional war between D.K. Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah. There's also Telangana, some talk of a change in chief minister depending on the result. I don't know. I can't see it happening so soon.
I don't think that would be a harakiri for Congress, if they at all do, because Telangana result had a huge input from the leadership of
Revant Reddy.
No two opinion about
What about Karnataka, where there's an open D.K. Shivakumar expects to be chief minister?
If his own brother is in trouble,
then he'll have to stay put. Okay, let's, we could talk to for hours with both of these men, but they're both very busy. So we're going to quickly turn our attention now to the north and to the Hindi-speaking states, as well as the national capital where we are, in Punjab and Haryana. The big one, Uttar Pradesh. यहाँ पे उम्मीद कुछ लोगों को थी that the BJP would do much better in the aftermath of, in particular, the Ram Mandir. Right? That has not happened. The ABPC voter poll projects a status quoist result. It's almost identical to the 2019 result.
Statistically speaking, their vote share has dropped by 4 or 5 points.
Yeah.
And I believe that the biggest reason for that is, Barkha, last 5 years back, BSP and SP contested together. So in the 40 odd seats where BSP did not contest, a significant chunk of BSP voter actually shifted to the BJP in that election. Now that she has given ticket in all 80 seats, that 4%, 3-4% vote of that chunk has actually seemed to have gone back to the BSP, even though BSP remains a marginal player, but largely she was seen as helping BJP. But my assessment is that this is a double-edged sword, and some places she has,
has she split the vote in advantage to the BJP? Because the ABPC voter survey, if I'm not wrong, says 14% vote for the BSP, even now in her moment of absolute political decline.
I think
has that helped the BJP?
No, only in the seats where she has given the Muslim faces, it has helped the BJP. But my theory is that if the BJP is unable to cross 70 seats, if the BJP is below 70 right now, and if their vote share actually drops by a couple of points like our exit poll is showing right now, then it would be largely because of the BSP putting candidates across all 80 seats.
Now, the Sea Voter Survey, Rahul, calls 15 to 17 in the range seats for the India Alliance. We don't have the individual breakup.
Largely, if I'm not wrong, it is 2 for the Congress and 1. And by the way, the 2 doesn't include Amity. I want to very clear, because the moment I said 2, that very moment a lot many things are going on.
वही पूछने वाली थी, बिल्कुल वही पूछने वाली थी. How do you see this? Once again, like with Tejasvi, the mobilization of crowds has always been good by Akhilesh Yadav. This time, he made a very interesting attempt to give non-Yadav OBCs tickets, right? Tried to shed the Muslim Yadav image. These numbers are not going to make them happy.
But we can't change everything like a couple of months before the election or in the run-up to election. Exactly. I think the reason why, if everywhere BJP is gaining, why BJP is not being able to make gains in UP, one of the reasons which Yashwant didn't mention here, but he has been saying this, is that in UP is one of the states where BJP actually did not cut tickets of lots of incumbent MPs. So there, I think BJP might not be able to win some of the seats is because of repeat candidates. Some of them are carrying negative sentiments. Had there been better candidate selection, I think in UP they would have done better.
Totally agree.
Because there will be a lot of interpretation of the Ram Mandir not providing incremental votes. Ayodhya में भी, यूपी में बार-बार सुनने को आता है सीट फंसी हुई है. बीजेपी निकाल लेगी लेकिन अभी सीट फंसी हुई है. Are you expecting the contests to be keener, closer than they were last time? Will there be vote share?
No, in the seats where they've given wrong tickets. I mean, absolutely. So it's the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. So BJP's vote share is going to come down by 2-3 percentage point, and Samajwadi Party and Congress is going to increase a little bit. So in some seats, it would look a very, very close contest. BJP may still win because of the victory margins it has, but frankly, going on the ground and listening to Kaante ki takkar, is it a wrong way to figure out who's winning the seat? You can never fail, because ultimately you are thinking in terms of 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh voto ka shift. Right? At any day, you are only going to meet 100 people in a constituency. So, it's
like Yogen ji said कि 30 सीटों पे कांटे की टक्कर है, फंस गई. I said कि इसका मतलब मान रहे 50 सीट तो निकल गई ना. तो I mean, come to think of it. ठीक है. नहीं, लेकिन 50 अगर उनकी है तो 50 में उनकी कम होकर 40 भी आ सकती है. हमने कहा ये क्यों मान रहे हैं कि आप जो 30 गिन रहे हैं वो 30 की 30 आएंगी. वो घट के 15 भी तो हो सकती है. So the thing is that in entire this probabilistic game plan, फंस गया है, टक्कर में है. Barkha, only thing is to understand that it looked like a waveless election because there was no Balakot and no people were not on the streets.
People
doing
were not
something.
Hysterically emotional. It was a quieter election.
But when it's a quieter election, I think what happened that everybody overanalyzed the local equations.
Yes.
Without realizing that yes, there is a big chunk of local equation candidates being talked about.
So was everyone who called this a zero-wave election wrong? Wave तो हमेशा retrospect में ही पता लगती है, Rahul.
And wave is, I think, is perhaps it's a job of academics to figure out how to define what is wave, right? Yeah. If you are going to look at, say, if BJP manages to win 325, 330, then between 282 to 303, it was 20-seat addition, but everyone said it was a wave election. Now again, it's going to be a 20-seat addition, but are you going to say it a wave election? And I would say no. I think in our imagination, the way we coin these terms is about where the party was expected to do before election and what the gap is. I think in perhaps 2019 was expected to be around 240, 250 party, and then it reaches 300. Here it was already projected that this party is going to get around 310, 315, 320. And so it's ending up at that mark. It's just during the campaign, everyone made this election more uncertain and exciting.
And another thing to add, these जो फंस गई है seats, they were aberrations, Barkha, है ना?
I think one of the sentences you said on an earlier program to me was localize. जहाँ localize हुआ वो aberration था, वो norm नहीं था.
वो norm नहीं था. और and people got super excited with those aberrations and they started looking at them as a norm.
Yeah.
And that's where it went wrong.
Now, Madhya Pradesh is not much to say except that it's one of the few states where the state and the national politics mirror each other.
Absolutely. Same goes with the Chhattisgarh.
Same goes with Chhattisgarh. Yeah, so and the BJP domination continues. Let's talk about Delhi, Haryana, Punjab. Start with Delhi, Rahul. The AAP and the Congress were in alliance. The ABPC voter has margins where it's not going to be a complete washout. Delhi is the one state where the polls are not completely fully in convergence.
So Rahul, you start with that.
I think, it is still possible that we may get a 7-0 in favor of BJP.
Agree.
And it's also possible that BJP may lose one seat or maximum two. See, I think Congress and AP coming together definitely made the contest keener, but there were two problems to this. One, the margin of victory for BJP in every seat in Delhi was higher than 2 lakh, 2.5 lakh. So it was a big margin to fill. Second, Congress and AP announced candidates very, very close to the election, right? Like Delhi was one of the first states, very early BJP had announced that out of 7, 6 MPs are not getting renominated. So they had given their candidates more in time than say Congress or AAP candidates got. And third, I think when you are candidates announced that late, AAP and Congress both don't like each other in a way. Like AAP voters think if Congress rises, it will take our base, and Congress thinking that AAP became. I think it had very little chance to begin with. And so even if they managed to get 1 or 2 seats, I would say it's big performance.
The highlight from Delhi for my data, Barkha, is that I believe that in 14 and 19, both times, the people of Delhi actually against the BJP voted Congress as number 2 party. Okay. And data this time has again kind of underlined the contest is there only on the seats where Congress candidate is there. So that means people look Congress as the national alternative, not as an Aam Aadmi party. So I think Aam Aadmi party's branding as such is now struck with as a localized thing.
Clearly Kejriwal's jail term has not yielded electoral results.
Not to the Aam Aadmi party for sure, of course, because the seats where Aam Aadmi party candidates are there, barring East Delhi, the margins are huge.
Because the sympathy factor that was expected doesn't seem to have worked out.
It doesn't seem to have worked out, but it doesn't mean that Kejriwal as a chief minister is not popular.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that when assembly elections happen, he is not going to win.
So we're back to split politics.
Yeah,
We're back to split politics. But let's look at Punjab. When we talk about AAP, we also have to look at Punjab. There's an AAP chief minister. But the ABPC voter poll, it's quite a fragmented picture for Punjab, right? Between the Congress, the AAP and the BJP. The Akalis... but the Akalis vote share, but doesn't seem to be converting much into
become, honestly speaking, Punjab has become the most difficult state to project.
Why?
Because it is genuinely 4-cornered and on 2 seats it is a 5-cornered.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So when 4-cornered contest means anybody who is polling more 25% can win the seat, or at least a serious contest to win the seats. And in 5-cornered, the bar gets to 20%. Right. So everywhere, in most of the seats, these 4 parties, largely at least 3 of them, are between 25 to 30% kind of thing. So the contest is wide open. However, Congress is having an upper hand, no doubt about that.
Which is quite interesting given the complete sort of factionalism within the Congress party, losing leaders.
I think the emotion of Delhi is also playing out there, that at the national level politics, they are looking at Congress as the genuine alternative to the BJP, not the Aam Aadmi.
So overall, is it very bad news for the Aam Aadmi party?
Yes, it seems like, but I want to, it's possible that AAP may not have any MP in Lok Sabha. and BJP has played a calculated game in terms of downsizing AP. But more than that, I'm genuinely concerned about Punjab politics. The reason is that in the post insurgency era, in the 90s and 2000s, there was some stability. You can say there was corruption and other things, but it was a Congress a coalition, Congress on one side, BJP, SAB coalition on other side. It had become stable. I think what has happened between 2015 and 2024, in these 9 or 10 years, there is so much of things going on in Punjab politics that it will take some time to settle from this churn. What would happen, I don't know, but it has shown all kinds of tendencies, and perhaps like those tendencies, like BJP or Prime Minister Modi or his team at the top was definitely aware of it when they took a back seat on Farms Bill. Otherwise, they would have carried on because there are now serious signs coming out of Punjab.
Yeah, and let's not forget that Amritpal Singh is a candidate in these Punjab elections. I don't think.
So is Mr. Man. I mean,
and so is, So there is.
Both are in contention.
Both are in Taran belt. It's a hotbed over there, and both are in good contention. That's why making it a 5-cornered contest. One thing, however, in Punjab, just like in when we were discussing Tamil Nadu, we said that contest is not between DMK and others. Contest is BJP versus AIADMK. तो पंजाब में भी लड़ाई वो अलग है, वड्डा कौन, जीत उसी कोई बोलने को तैयार नहीं है. तो अकालीज एंड द बीजेपी फाइट ऑफ बीइंग द डिफॉल्ट थिंग ओवर देयर, आई थिंक बीजेपी माइट कम आउट एज एन अपर हैंड because of the vote share. I know that they are polling more than 20% and Akalis are not reaching 20%. And in the seat share, BJP is in contest in 4 seats, good contest in 4 seats, winnable seats. Akalis are contesting only 1 seat, Batinda. Out of there, they are completely out of contest, less than 20% in most of other seats. So I think if vote share and seat share, both way, if they trounce Akalis, then we are looking at a different kind of politics coming into it.
Haryana, very quickly, then we end with our western states. Haryana was again a state where the opposition really hoped to garner some advantages, and to some extent it has.
Yes, I think.
But not as much as it.
Yeah, some polls are projecting, I think, 4 to 5 seats loss. Some are projecting 2 to 3 seats loss. But like Rohtak, I think Congress would have had a huge chance. And given what has happened on farm politics and especially among Jat community, I think what you are going to see a further sort of polarization on Jat versus non-Jat axis in Haryana.
In Haryana, in the all the MOTN polls, on the state ranking and the CM ranking, it for the last 4 or 5 years, it was consistently one state which was in the bottom 5. So I am not surprised that that Congress is making a comeback of sorts, because now that with Aam Aadmi Party, so in that way.
And also why I made the Jat versus non-Jat is both INLD and JJP has collapsed. Their combined vote share is
so Jat has completely polarized towards the Congress.
Yes.
Now, if from here to the next assembly election remains to be seen in that way. But by and large, BJP with about 43% vote share still has a significant play at work over there. But with the incumbencies and everything, Congress has to tone down a bit their Jat identity of sort and take a bit more broad base to carry along the anti-incumbency vote.
So let's end with Maharashtra, Gujarat and Rajasthan. Gujarat, BJP's domination, of course, continues. Maharashtra, it was the second state that you had described as the mother of all battles, and your survey, the ABPC Water Survey, predicts a neck-and-neck sort of dead heat projection, where, of course, the opposition is going to gain advantage. The BJP's allies are the ones that seem to be feeling the heat in Maharashtra.
Well, that's precisely what our pre-poll trackers were also saying, and nothing has changed over there. It has only become more competitive. Our last poll was giving, if I'm not wrong, 26 to the NDA and 22. And now it seems like 24 each in that way. In different pockets, what has happened is that between the Chacha Bhatija ki ladai, Ajit Pawar is getting decimated. Between Shinde and Uddhav, wherever the direct contest, there is an advantage Uddhav Thackeray. And then there is a big number of Congress versus the BJP seats. There is where the BJP has an advantage. So broadly speaking, there are, in these three major fights, there are three winners: BJP, Uddhav Thackeray, and Sharad Pawar. And three losers: the Congress, the Shinde, and
so let me ask a
Ajit
mischievous question: could there be a realignment again?
Absolutely.
That's
I am open to that. I feel like that whatever is happening right now in Maharashtra is unnatural by in that
because
way.
So many BJP voters I met in Maharashtra were Modi voters who felt sorry for Uddhav Thackeray and also said, "ये split हुआ क्यों? ये अलग हुए क्यों? इस सब की जरूरत क्या थी?" And we could see Sharad Pawar has always been too much of a master player, so we have no idea what card he's going to play. But should we be shocked if Uddhav Thackeray and Aditya Thackeray return to the BJP fold? Would you be shocked?
No, I will not be.
Rahul?
First point, I think, with all due respect to Sharad Pawar, I don't think he has many cards to play on these games. Think of a politician who in 90s could have become a prime minister, in 2000s could have become a chief minister of Maharashtra anytime he wanted. He was chief minister in 1978. In 2020s, he has to go to every sort of descendant to make sure that his own seat of Baramati is safe. So let's not you can only play cards with strength. When your own party is getting divided, then you don't have any cards. So
you're saying the whole sort of Sharad Pawar cleverness is overstated?
This is overblown. What is cleverness when you're
Uddhav Thackeray, can he come back?
I think from
Ghar Vapsi for Uddhav Thackeray.
Politics make all things open, but think from BJP's perspective. Once Uddhav Thackeray decided to form MVA, and go with them to become the chief minister, if that alliance had remained as it was, BJP would not have got even 20-22 seats, which it seems can get, right?
Okay.
So the options for them were limited. Options was to basically break Shiv Sena. Once they thought even breaking Shiv Sena is not going to help, go for breaking. Of course, things that you do also has counter things. Now, by breaking, you broke the social arithmetic or the coalition, but you also created a problem for yourself, which is the narrative, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you play cards, but you have to be ready for the cost of that card. Exactly. I think what might happen is, yes, realignment is possible. It also depends on what is going to happen in how assembly elections and Mumbai municipal council elections are going to take place. The game is, if BJP somehow manages to wrestle Mumbai municipal corporation, then the politics is going to be different.
Yeah, it's less about arithmetic and more about chemistry. It's a question. It's like somehow two insolubles have been put in a beaker, in both two different beakers, and we can see the two layers. They have been shaken like that, and then after some time you see they are again like two layers out there. So it's a chemistry gone wrong. Honestly speaking, it's not about arithmetic.
And I will not be surprised if you see a churn there. Let's end with Rajasthan and then the big picture in conclusion. Rajasthan, the BJP, I know you're getting late, just 5 more minutes. Rajasthan, the BJP has taken a hit, but not as big a hit as the opposition would have hoped.
Rajasthan, again, the aberrations were at play. Barmer and the seats where the candidate selection was wrong and they are rebel candidates. So again, the question of aberrations versus the norms, right? A state where BJP has won the assembly election without Vasundhara Raje at play, only on the strength of Narendra Modi.
Do you think she could have sabotaged?
No, I'm asking you, Barkha, 6 महीने में नरेंद्र मोदी ने ऐसा क्या पाप किया है कि राजस्थान के लोग हेट करने लगेंगे उसको? It's like that. I mean, did he do something so wrong that Rajasthanis would start hating him?
So you think that the knock is because of poor ticket distribution?
Poor ticket, and then again the knock is because of the few seats which were at play and people saying, "Arey, sab badal gaya, sab badal gaya, sab badal gaya." It's not happening that way.
Okay, let's look now at the big picture. The ABP voter exit poll projects 353 to 383 for the NDA and 152 to 182 for India Bloc. When you break this down party-wise, your survey projects a gain of 22 seats for the Congress, potentially, and potentially a gain of about 12 to 15 seats for the BJP. I think 12 seats. Now, explain a little bit of divergence that has come when we look at the other exit polls. There are two polls, Access My India and Chanakya, that project a 400 par, which was the Prime Minister's call for the NDA. Do you at this point believe that is still possible, or do you stick to the findings of your own poll?
I will always stick to, first of all, my own finding. There is no, but I will always also maintain that, when 400 par ka nara came in, I said that not impossible, but improbable. I will still maintain that. Crossing 400 is a bit improbable at this point of time, whatever data I have. But whatever the numbers, they both accounts, BJP's own account or NDA account, they are crossing the previous status. And they are crossing the last vote share. Both ways. BJP is crossing their last vote share. They are polling around 39%. NDA is polling 45% plus. Both ways, they are crossing the last vote share.
If the Congress has improved by 22 seats per the C voters poll, Rahul, in the opposition, other than Mamata Banerjee, who has done badly then?
Across the bay of, are you thinking in terms of just the India alliance?
India alliance. Because one of the things I haven't understood, and maybe I'm asking a foolish question here, the BJP is projected to improve. The Congress is projected to improve. So clearly it's the non-BJP, non-Congress parties.
So Congress improvement, think of it.
Improve modestly from 54 to about 74.
So some improvement is happening in Haryana, Rajasthan, right? And Karnataka. Small. This is coming at the cost of BJP. Then they might improve their numbers in Telangana, which is going to come at the cost of BRS. And in Bihar and JMM and Bihar and Jharkhand and UP, 2 seats, which might be coming at the cost of BJP. So BJP is losing some seats to Congress, but it's making huge gains in the Eastern Corridor.
So I want to end with one quoting Rahul Gandhi to you and asking both of you, what is the future of the Congress and what kind of brand Modi do we expect to unfold in the third term? The third term is not in doubt. Do the margins matter? Where the BJP settles eventually. Rahul Gandhi, Yashwant, this is for you, has called these exit polls Modi media ke poll, Prime Minister's fantasy poll. Let me in fact read out to you exactly what he said. He said, this is not an exit poll. It is a Modi media poll. It is his fantasy poll. And then, when questioned about the number of seats the India alliance would secure, Gandhi cryptically referred to Sidhu Moosewala's song 295, hinting at the alliance's potential tally. This is the number that was disclosed by Mallikarjun Kharge yesterday. So now Mr. Moosewala is also in the mix. He's saying if Modi media ke poll hai bhai.
कर्नाटक में जब हम बोल रहे थे कि कांग्रेस स्वीप कर रही है तो कौन सा मोदी मीडिया का पोल था? जब हम तेलंगाना में बोल रहे थे कि कांग्रेस की सरकार बन रही है तो कौन सा मीडिया पोल था? I can keep on counting from West Bengal tracker to Tamil Nadu tracker to Kerala tracker to Telangana, Karnataka, even add in the mix of Punjab and Delhi and Himachal. When in the last 10 years, can Mr. Rahul Gandhi pick up one single state in the last 10 years where our polls said Congress is losing and Congress is won, or where we have said Congress is not winning and Congress did not win. So, ये हलवा गप और कड़वा थू नहीं चलता है.
But are you apprehensive that we might look at election denialism on the day of the counting if the results mirror broadly the exit polls?
Yes, it's possible. I hope
it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
It's never happened in the history of India.
We are we've always had murmurs and whispers, but if, say, a party president or opposition leaders come out and give a open statement to the media, then it would be in a very different taste and manner. So I hope it doesn't happen. And especially unless you have evidence. Right? Like if you say that there was voter suppression happening or EVM things were distorted, then you need to have documented that evidence and should have presented during the course of the election. Right? Once the game is over and you've lost, you can't say rules were basically changed midway.
Ex post facto. Yes. In the lead nahi keh sakte hum jeet rahe hain and then suddenly.
Exactly. I think that would be very unfortunate if they go that way. That would be insulting, first of all, insulting the mandate. That would be also insulting the millions and millions of voters who have voted for the opposition candidates, in the states where opposition is sweeping.
That's right.
And it will be self-defeating, Barkha, because within the next 5 months, we have got 4 huge assembly round elections coming up. Jammu, Kashmir, Haryana, Jharkhand, and Maharashtra. At least 3 out of the 4,
The opposition has a good
Congress
chance.
have a good chance of winning. So if you will discredit the mandate right now, how you are going to respect the mandate later on? So I think that would be very, very huge disappointment if they at all go into the election denial mode.
Let's end with the fact that in the battle of Prashant Kishore versus Yogendra Yadav, Prashant Kishore will have an I told you so moment, except that he also said brand Modi is in decline. He said Modi will be back, but the brand is in decline. If these numbers hold, the brand is not in decline.
No, it could still be in decline.
Because?
Right? See, the problem is that, and I'm being trained by Yogenji, and I really like Prashant Kishore. Think of it. Winner, when it wins, doesn't mean they got everything right.
The winner doesn't take all.
Right? So there are, I think, and the decline does not, it will conceal some of the weaknesses of BJP that might be building up. Right? Victory, like think of Congress when it won 404 in 1984. Within 3 years, it became a lame duck government, and after 1989, Congress has never been able to get majority on its own at the national level. So, like where I think BJP, what so far has shown to be more agile in terms of
thinking ahead and anticipating.
And where I think Congress is making a mistake, that I don't think they have still figured out why they lost 2014. Right? And unless you do that deep introspection, you will not be able to chart out the course of the ride.
That's such a great point, Yashwant. Your closing takeaway, again to quote a BJP leader who said, "Ab hum sachi mein Bharatiya Janata Party." And the same leader also said, opposition Modi से लड़ इसलिए नहीं सकती क्योंकि उनको मोदी समझ ही नहीं आता. It's a kind of extension of what Rahul is saying, that you have to first understand why are you not being considered a national alternative.
Absolutely. And that why is not just in terms of understanding that one individual. That why has even deeper issues when you are misunderstanding the masses, misunderstanding the mandate, and misunderstanding what people's mind, how the people are thinking.
Yeah.
Somehow there is a lot of misunderstanding there to an extent of being prejudiced.
Yeah.
All right. They have to shed away their prejudices, first of all. They have to unlearn, push up the reboot button, and see what has worked for them in the last 10 years. It's not that they have been complete failures. They have been winning 50% elections in the last 10 years. Problem is, they are not learning from those 50% elections, and they are continuing whatever wrong they did and
doubling down on mistakes.
Doubling down on mistakes.
Okay, we'll call it a day just for this election roundtable. We hope to have both Rahul and Yashwant back as the actual results come. There'll be a lot more to talk about. Thank you very much, Yashwant Deshmukh and Rahul Verma. It's been a pleasure. Learn so much from both of you, and hope to see both of you again very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.